Hey guys, it's OKB, and this is the top 40 ninjas of Naruto Online so far. It's July, it's the middle of 2021, and by the end of 2021, we're going to have new ninjas, new breakthroughs. Strong, semi-strong, it's going to flip everything. The ninjas that were top, like number 1 or 2, I actually have them on my list as maybe 30 or 40. So that's how much it changes over 1 year or so. Okay, so I actually created a Word document, and yeah, I'm actually streaming on Discord right now. It's an unofficial stream. I've like one guy with me right now, but you guys can actually comment. I'm gonna put the link to the document in the descriptions and the comment of this video. You guys can go in there and comment on what you guys think. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, if I'm missing something. There's two ninjas I'm actually missing that I think could be on here, but I'm just confused on. One is Zetsu. All right, Zetsu breakthroughs. I mean, he's eventually gonna have. He was nerfed in China, so I don't know if he's gonna be nerfed here. But then like new ninjas keep coming out, and then maybe like copying this new ninja will be more helpful in the battle or something. I don't know. It keeps changing. So Zetsu is just I didn't put it on the list because I didn't know where to put it. Number 2 is that new Rage Obito. Like the abilities on that new Rage Obito. First of all, in the game, let me show you guys. Over to the game itself. Rage Obito. It's a little bit laggy, but Rage Obito has this enhanced mode. And then, like, you can sort of see some of their abilities on Kono's proxy, but I don't know if it's completely accurate because some of them are not because they're copied from China's abilities. So that Rage Obito thing, it's like he deals damage to himself, but then he heals after 50% after his HP goes below. And then he has enhanced abilities on everything, and I just don't know how to put that in a fight. I don't know how good that's going to be. We have to actually see this in a fight to really know how good he's supposed to be. Not just arena either. Especially outside of arena, it gets more complicated. So I'm not putting Rage Obito in this document on the top 40 list yet. He should be on here. I don't know. You guys tell me though. I need help on this one. All right. So Zetsu, Rage Obito, and if I'm missing something, or if you think something's ridiculous, then go ahead and comment on this document. I might go around and change it. Who knows? Okay. Let's get started. So there's 40 ninjas to go through. Less than a minute for each one, so it doesn't take an hour. Top 40 ninjas of mid 2021. I might put tags like 3 versus 3, arena, 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2, 1 versus 1, or something. But yeah, number 1's going to be 6 Paths of Pain. 100% this guy. For now. Alright, so 6 Paths of Pain. Basically, he can fight the top ninjas at the moment. Every single top ninja he can defeat. Though it's not like he overpowers every single one. So he overpowers Obito. Right? Because Obito causes that ninjutsu ceiling, which Tendo then reflects and gets an extra standard attack for. He scales a lot too for his every attack, and he can go up to 10 attacks, which is like 150% scaling, which is ridiculous. And his mystery also gives him scaling. He's basically immune to debuffs like Edo Nagato is. I think it doesn't count the irremovable ones or something. I guess something like Rinnegan Sasuke's paralysis. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, maybe ignition or something will work on it. But yeah, he just attacks a lot, scales a lot. If there's one weakness that he has, it's that he's a little bit squishy in terms of damage. So you can out-damage him a little bit. But against Ten Tails Obito, he's going to win, who's number 2 on my list. He can fight against 6 Paths Naruto fairly well. And Edo Madara as well, right? He scales faster than 6 Paths Naruto, even though he doesn't heal. But yeah, if you give him a little too much status effects, then he's going to easily overpower Naruto. Against Edo Madara, I think Edo Madara has the best chance against him. Like, as long as you don't use the double chase, as long as you don't double chase Tendo, I think you should be fine with Edo Madara because your scaling is going to be similar. Maybe a little bit less, but Edo Madara does heal, so, it's good. Okay, I made a team here. I made like 40 teams. at once, and not all of them are going to be the best, but they're going to demonstrate their abilities. That male Chikasudo is perfect with him. Otherwise, he's not that useful at the moment, at least. I put Conan, Swimsuit Conan, because he gives everybody an extra standard attack. It's kind of nice, and Tendo has a lot of good standard attacks. Earth main, you can really do any main, maybe a lightning main or something to increase his damage or something. That's fine. Alright, Tenji's Obito is next. So he defeats Edomadara. We've seen that in Space Time. If you've seen the Space Time 1 or 2 weeks ago. Tenji's Obito, even though he had lower initiative, he would still be able to beat Edomadara's team by just his breakthroughs has this attack that happens on even rounds or something. And that deals a lot of damage, critical hits too. And he heals when people hit him. He scales when people hit him with taijutsu. I think he heals when it's ninjutsu, something like that. But basically, he's also immune to ninjutsu, so that destroys 6-pass Naruto. Against Edomadara, he has the upper hand, but Edomadara can still win with support, so that's fine. But yeah, aside from Tendo, he doesn't really have any natural enemies. He can still be blitzed for sure, for damage, sure, but I don't really see that happening to him that easily. And I just put like a team here that might work. Akatsuki Shinkakuzu is pretty nice. And Edomadara, just good general support, because Tendo's Obito doesn't really need scaling. I mean, it will help, but it's not necessary. He scales on his own. And he heals on his own too. It's pretty nice. Alright, Edomadara's next. So Edomadara's next on the list. I put him above 6-pass Naruto. 6-pass Naruto is good. He can defeat Edomadara sometimes, especially if you use the right formation. But Edomadara is also a support, so that's why I'm putting him on number 3 overall. Keep in mind, we're not just talking about position 1s or supports or just arena or something. We're talking about overall. So Edomadara has usage across the board everywhere. 6-pass Naruto does too, but Edomadara has support, and 6-pass Naruto doesn't. I mean, maybe he does like here and there, but Edomadara has a much better supporting role, like increasing someone's mystery cooldown when they deal damage. For the first one, he's also immune to ninjutsu, which is great against 6-pass Naruto for a while, even as a support, and he has some defensive skills for that as well. So he's definitely on the list. Like even if you're defeating him, he's people are using 6-pass Naruto with him. Like they'll stack 6-pass Naruto, but then put Edomadara's abilities with them. So that's pretty good, and it's often used with Edo Nagato so that his mystery doesn't miss. His +2 mystery doesn't miss. Akatsuki Shinkakuzu is nice. I would put Rinnegan Sasuke. That's my team, but Akatsuki Shinkakuzu would be good when 6-pass Naruto is done. It's gone. It's not really used. Next is 6-pass Naruto. He's just a strong position 1, healing, scaling, stacking, attacking area attacks and all that. So he's just strong overall. I mean, there's counters to him, the guys above. There's somewhat counters like Edo Itachi, but it's not enough to really stop him. It's enough to like push him back, but not enough. If you use another position 1 that isn't as good as Edomadara or something, it would still be hard to kill 6-pass Naruto. So he's still on the list, and you can use all sorts of stuff with him. Minato, Wind Main would increase that. Akatsuki Shinkakuzu is a pretty popular one to use with him because he's cheap, 3 stars, all that stuff. Okay, Minato's next for the barrier. I mean, he has breakthroughs, but he has breakthroughs which lower defense. He has a barrier that increases defense and resistance by 100%. That can't be removed, but he can revive and go back and forth like this. He's not good for everything, but he's really good. When he works, he's really good. And even if you're fighting Edomadara, I fought a 6-pass Naruto before with my Edomadara. He ended up winning because he had Minato just revive and bring back the barrier, and then after a couple rounds, then Edomadara brought back the barrier. He had like another really powerful support too, but that Minato is able to replace Edomadara, and it's just a really powerful barrier. All right. He also reduces defense, and knockdown repulse is sometimes good, I guess, for some people. Causing glow is okay. Other stuff is not that important, just the revival and barrier. And I guess once in a while his mystery, but it's not that important. If you want to use him as position 1, I actually recommend Christmas Kushina, and you want to get his barrier first. Throw in Christmas Kushina to increase his critical rate. Then he can reduce the resistance of other people, and he can increase his own attack. And so you have a lot of taijutsu critical hits against your opponent. that would be pretty good. And I put Edo Itachi here because it's perfect with the chase on Minato. As a support though, you can heal. He can heal himself as long as he gets to chase. So it's some survivability on top of the dodge. All right, Reserve Soul Tsunade's next on my list. Yeah, I put him at this high. I put her that high, but I'm not 100% certain. So you guys can criticize me if you want. I know there's a whole bunch of people who don't like Reserve Soul Tsunade that much. I put her because she heals a lot, she survives a lot, she's automatically survives for 2 rounds. She's immune to status effects, which is pretty nice. So you can basically put her as a tank for a while, and then she revives after 2 mysteries, which actually 3 mysteries. Sorry, which revives at 50% life, but reviving after 3 mysteries, it's a while. It takes a while, so it's not that good. It takes 3 mysteries. It's in the long term, it's okay, but Kasuga Kakuzu is easier to revive in the beginning of the battles. And some people don't like her because, if you're using 6-Pass Naruto against Tsunade, then you use Tsunade to revive people, but then 6-Pass Naruto gets another standard attack and he heals more and he might just kill the entire team again. Of course, that happens if you're fighting someone who's really stacked, but if you're not that stacked, maybe you'll take 2 standard attacks and your team will survive for another round or something. That's fine, but I really like her in general. I would use her sometimes, like Greninja Obito. That's why I put this team here to kind of show you. If Greninja Obito dies by round 2's mystery, you can use Tsunade to revive him. Naruto uses 20 chakra, so you use Naruto to clear off all the people around your opponent, and then use Greninja Obito to take away your opponent's Naruto, and then you'll have the scaling on Naruto versus your opponent. If they're using Naruto, you can also use this on Edo Madara, and that would be quite powerful, right? This is one of the ways you can defeat any superpowered ninja. Honestly, Tendo, yeah, pretty much any ninja, as long as you can clear out the rest of the guys, then Greninja Obito can win your game. But he needs to survive, which is good for Tsunade, and other ninjas like this will come along too. All right, Takakirin, pretty close. No, I wouldn't. I'm also not sure she's at number 7, but she's fairly good. Takakirin heals a whole bunch. It's good for if you won't die in round 1, right, or round 2. She heals herself when she's attacked by 2%, which is fairly nice. The combo is not too much. The perfume spray of strong poison slow might be helpful for people who's not immune to status. She removes buffs with that too, so it's kind of like a Kasuga Kakuzu. But she's also a field 3 versus 3 ninja that heals again and again and again if someone uses their mystery. And in 3 versus 3, if she's still alive by the time she heals, she's gonna just heal and heal and heal and heal with like 3. Your opponent has 3 people, and they're gonna keep on using mystery. So she's gonna heal so many times, it's crazy. It's beyond Tsunade. That's kind of the reason why I'm putting her here too. But she has to survive for sure. So I mean, you could use both of them at the same time. Like Tsunade will revive Takakirin. Karen will then proceed to heal everybody 7 times or something, because all the mysteries. Okay, Kasuga Kakuzu's next on the list. He revives when you kill someone on the other side, as long as he dies. So he's also immune to status. He removes buffs with his mystery, round 1 mystery, which can be important, not that important. He causes a whole bunch of combos and stuff, which is nice if you need it. With Kisame, yeah, he works well with Kisame, reviving people, and because Kisame gains a lot of chakra, and chakra gives Kisame power, so you're gonna keep on reviving people and having them die for Kisame to buff himself up. And yeah, reviving people with a ninjutsu and resistance buff, perfect with Naruto, of course. And any ninja, like even if they're using taijutsu and ninjutsu, it's Kasuga Kakuzu still has resistance, 30% resistance increase, and 50%. It'll be like 15% of attack and ninjutsu for people who use both tai and ninjutsu. Still pretty good, right? You're still reviving people. You can use Greninja Obito with this guy too. You can time it so that you kill one of the guys on the other side after your opponent uses their mystery or something, so that they can't interrupt your support on the other ninja that you have. Green Ninja Obito is the best example I have of this. I just can't think of anything else right now. Okay, question marks. Green Ninja Orochimaru. I'm very confused. Okay, I'm not very confused. I just don't know if Green Ninja Orochimaru can handle anything outside of arena. Yeah. First of all, he doesn't have any defense, right? So, from what I'm seeing so far, they may change it, but he summons Hokages in the beginning. So, the first time he's going to summon Minato and cause a whole bunch of tag, hit everybody, interrupt everybody, which is nice if your opponent is trying to queue up and use their Kasame or something. If they don't know that Orochimaru is going to hit them with Minato, then they might get interrupted. But then after people know about what he does, his Minato attack really isn't that big of a deal unless you're in 3v3 arena. If you're in, even arena is pretty good. So he absolutely is great in arena, but outside of arena, how much damage is that actually going to do? Even if you stack him, right? He has no stack. He has no power stacking. He has no defensive stacking. He just has revival. But then he does increase a whole bunch of damage, a whole bunch of ninjutsu and attack in round 2, and Tobirama will possibly interrupt somebody. Hiruzen will fire off a mystery. It's some buffs there in round 2, I suppose, but it's just that I don't know, he seems like he'll get killed. And even as a support, he'll get killed fairly easily. I don't think he's going to even make it to round 3 where he can summon Edo Hashirama outside of arena. So he's really good in arena, 3v3 arena. He could also be pretty good in a long, drawn-out battle in outside of arena, but it's on and off, right? I really don't know. Anyways, what I would put with him is in a 3v3 arena situation. Green Ninja Orochimaru will buff both of them. Orochimaru will summon Minato to hit everybody and just hit everybody. You probably want to activate Kasame if you're fighting against another Kasame though, because the other Kasame might drain your chakra. So keep that in mind. But yeah, you'll be able to blitz. Just if people had 3 Green Ninja Orochimarus, that would probably destroy most of the team. Most of your opponent's team. And then you can start using Kasame to just clear everything off. Of course, if people start using Reserve Soul Tsunade, like I do, then it's going to be more complicated. Katsuki Shinkaku too. Alright, Kasame. I put her next because he's good for Great Ninja War and 3v3 Arena, which is pretty big. Outside of that, he's somewhat okay in 1v1, but the reason I'm putting him on top above of some other ninjas that are better in 1v1 is because they're just so powerful in 3v3, in and out of arena, and I guess sometimes in bonds too. You can drain chakra from 2 different teams at the same time with his chase, which is overlooked. I mean, in 1v1 though, he's just not that powerful. I guess you could use him sometimes in a unique team just to gain chakra. I guess that's fine too. You just break the barriers and stuff. But yeah, in 3v3 is where he's most powerful, which is why I put a 3v3 team here for you guys to see. I also have some suggestions on which breakthroughs you should use at the same time. But yeah, the Asuma, Takasagetsu, throw them all in. You can also use Edo Madara. He's also hit and miss, so it's nice that he can get Mangetsu or Takasagetsu to help him out. Sage Kabuto is next. People don't really see him because you usually want the position 1 and position. Then you want to work on Sage Kabuto. He's a support. You can use him as position 1, but he's not on medium status until you use his mystery and no super armor or anything like that. So his standard attack increases mystery cooldown by 1. He has a breakthrough that allows him to get a whole bunch of standard attacks, so you can start increasing mystery cooldowns by 1 to random people. That could be really useful. I've seen people use him with 6-Pass Naruto and just 6-Pass Naruto and him, maybe Minato or something. But yeah, he can be pretty lethal sometimes. But it's a little bit random, so it's hard to say. Alright, number 12 is Ten Tails Madara. So Ten Tails Madara has breakthroughs. Very powerful. Doesn't work against 6-Pass Naruto because 6-Pass Naruto heals. And also undodgeable attacks, so it kind of sucks that way. But if you use him against something like Edo Madara, he has a chance. Actually a pretty fair chance. If you use against Ten Tails Obito, he also has a pretty fair chance. His damage is in his chase, so he can actually, if he's faster than Edo Madara and Ten Tails Obito, he can actually make it work. The That being said, he can suppress immunity to status, which will work on Edo Madara, except Edo Madara, if he's faster, has super armor. So the chases won't work exactly, but you can activate some other, other random status effect or something on him. Ten Tails Obito doesn't have any of that, but you can out damage him. So I think Ten Tails Madara in some scenarios can actually beat Ten Tails Obito. All right. Against Tendo, it's not gonna work though. His repulse knockdown is his main damage dealer, but it gives Tendo an extra attack. So depends on how much damage you can handle. You gotta blitz really fast. Oh, actually, you know what? Because Tendo's Madara might be able to take on Tendo because not Tendo, Six Pass Pain, because after he uses his mystery, he gets into explosive mode, which blocks all attacks, right? So I don't think Tendo up here actually. Tendo, let's see, Tendo. His attacks are not undodgeable. Okay. So you can actually go against Tendo if you are able to mystery in round 1 with Ten Tails Madara. That's quite something. Okay. Alright, so I'll put a team with him. So I'll put Indra to stop. The difference between Ten Tails Madara and many other metas are the healing. So Indra will stop that healing. Minato will provide that defense and Earthmate as well. Right? That's kind of my what I think about when I try to make a team with him. Greninja Obito, I kind of explained it earlier, but he makes a ninja disappear for 1 round, and in a rare case where you have 80 chakra, you can make him disappear for 2 rounds. I'm not going to expect that. I made this team because I was tired of using Six Pass Naruto as an example. Suzuta Shisui, Chunin, he is hidden jutsu, so you can use Chunin with him. Rinnegan as well, throw in Gakido or something like that. Edo Nagato will work, make his mystery undodgeable, and it disappear just like that. So you can throw him with like Edo Madara and Earthmane, and hopefully he'll survive, though he might get controlled, but he does have a chase dodge, but it doesn't always activate, so it's on and off. But he can turn things around. Like if you're scaling a little bit more, you might be able to win, right? In an equal battle. So in 3 versus 3, it's probably, I guess you could. You can even put him as position 1. So if you're weaker than most other people, you can stack Great Ninja Obito, put a whole bunch of defense on him, and then use Great Ninja Obito on someone who's stronger, so that your side of the field is able to destroy the other side much faster. That is, I guess, 3 versus 3 utility. Indra, okay, he's squishy, so he's a little bit lower on the list, but his ignition is pretty good, better than Swimsuit Conan's. If you hit him, you get ignited, just that. But if you're using Tendo, then you get an extra standard attack, so not always the best. He has irremovable paralysis, similar to Rinnegan Sasuke, except he hits 3 to 4 people. It's pretty nice. High combo too. His mystery is actually not that important. He can cause anxiety, suppress immunity to status to 1 guy, but I think it doesn't work if there's control fail, so you can't really use it on position 1. His second mystery reduces resistance, but not by much. Against Six Pass Naruto, it's kind of pointless to do that unless you have stopped his standard attacks, right? He also has dodge until he makes a move, which is nice, but Six Pass Naruto still goes through that. But yeah, he's just a little squishy, which is why I didn't put him super up. I just figured it would be nice to use him and his brother in a team. They actually suit each other pretty well, except his brother isn't that powerful. He's good. He's lacking some damage. His brother does scale when he's hit, but it's not enough. Okay, Edo Itachi. Edo Itachi's, I'm just putting him here. He would actually be lower on the list later, but he's here because Six Pass Naruto is still a super meta that people use, and I know he's nice. He also has a really good knockdown, undodgeable one, which you can combo with something like Edo Madara or something like that. Any Great Ninja Madara, I think there's a fair amount of good ninjas that chase knockdown, right? So he's good. He's also good with Kushina, high-low, pretty good combo rate here. So he's good with combos, defending against Six Pass Naruto. Status Reflect is really nice too. Actually, I don't really need Fire Main if I do this, huh? Earth Main is fine. Yeah. Asura Atatsuki, increasing number of chases per round. Repulse knockdown it's like Ten Tails Madara, a lot of damage. He reduces defensive resistance with his standard attacks, which is decent, but it's only 8%. His mystery hits undodgeable, enfeeble some guy, suppresses their immunity due to status, which is nice, but he just doesn't have that damage. He does have some skilling if he's hit, 15% ninjutsu resistance each time he's hit, but it's not stackable. It only lasts for 1 round. It only goes up to 75%. That's not enough for a position 1. So maybe as a support, I would put him here, like Minato Barrier, enough defense. Taka Karen would heal enough. You just increase the number of chases, and then Minato and him will go back and forth. He'll deal a fair amount of damage because he ignores some defense and resistance. And then Minato will also get a lot of chases in. Of course, it doesn't work if someone has chase dodge and stuff, but that's an idea. Edo Nagato, I was thinking he might be better on the list because he's good with Edo Madara. He makes Rinnegan users, with one of his breakthroughs is making Rinnegan users, their mystery can't miss, basically, as long as he's on the field. He's also immune to ninjutsu, which is good against 6 Fast Naruto for a while. Repulse knockdown, increasing, his chase is pretty good. And then his standard attack drains chakra. So almost nothing here is wasted. Maybe his mystery, because increasing your chakra cost isn't. It's not always a good thing. It's usually a good thing, but using it against 6 Fast Naruto will only give 6 Fast Naruto another standard attack, which is not always a good thing. Other than that, all his abilities are pretty good against, and we have Edo Madara right now as a Rinnegan user. We have Tendo as a Rinnegan user, so there's a lot of strong Rinnegan users now and in the future. And he's also good against the most popular meta at the moment. So Greninja, Obito, Edo Madara as examples. Rinne Festival Kurotsuchi. I'm not so sure about this, but she's good. Increases initiative up to 5% for every... So 0.5% for every 10 chakra someone uses. She's probably going to die before that happens to the max, but that initiative can help if you're using something like Kimono Shisui, which Kimono Shisui's initiative doesn't really help that much unless you're really close to the person. If you add it on to Kurotsuchi, it might work. Kurotsuchi also causes repulse, which is great for Kimono Shisui. Let's see, what else? Unavoidable 20 combo with some slowdown, I guess. That's fair. Oh, in the beginning of the rounds, she has no cheating. That stops them from... Well, it goes through immunity to status, first of all. So it stops them from getting buffs and shields in the time of the effect. I don't know if that will work against 6 Fast Naruto or something. But if you kill enough people, then eventually the main character or whoever's left on your opponent's side, it's probably going to be like Ten Tails Obito or something. Well, they won't be able to get scaling. I don't know if that actually goes to the scaling you get when you standard attack though. So, it's still pretty good. No shields and stuff. Her mystery either really reduces mystery cooldown on your side of the field or increases mystery cooldown on their side of the field, which can be really useful. Okay, Swimsuit Conan. I've seen people use her. Zetsu's a fair example, but people seem to use her just to cause ignition so they can blitz some guy, some 6 Fast Naruto in round 1, 2. I've seen some high level players use her just in training grounds. I guess that's pretty useful. But she's also good, outside of that. 3 versus 3, kinda. There's a fair amount of Kakatsuki members out there. Giving extra standard attack to every Akatsuki member is something even Earth Grudge Kakuzu doesn't do. So she's also really good for combo. She has an undodgeable 10 combo that causes 5 combo to 5 units, which gets pretty much up to 30 combo. Her standard attacks are, 12 combo and max, I think. High chance of combo. And then, the ignition. Not a position 1, but I think it's a fair support. Founder Madara is next on my list. He reduces critical rate when someone hits him, and that's the number 1 reason I'm putting him on this list. He has other stuff like gaining chakra and causing undodgeable knockdown, which can be good with some other position 1 ninja. His chases doesn't matter that much, but he also gives Kono units some extra damage boost, so it's kind of nice with his breakthroughs and stuff. The critical hit is one of the number 1 things. People use him with Susanoo Shisui back in the days. Rinnegan Sasuke is next. The fear is still real, but because people are not using 6 Fast Naruto as much, I'm putting him a little bit lower on the list. But otherwise, he would be really effective against the most popular meta at the moment. stopping someone from standing and attacking is still good, but he has a 50% chance of stopping a standing attack, which is good and not good. Yeah, it's decent when it's not 6-pass Naruto, right? But he does have this irremovable paralysis, which can be really useful. He has a low high, which reduces critical hit or defense, but critical hit is better. Some fair effects, and this is a pretty typical team that people might use with 6-pass Naruto. Takasogetsu's next on the list. He's actually really quite useful in 3 versus 3. I use him. I've never lost with my current team with Takasogetsu, Edo Madara, and Kasame for a couple months now. He has some special effects there. He's able to use, if you put him after Edo Madara, he's able to buff up everybody. Even though Edo Madara removes all buffs and shields. And if he's Kasame, that'll be like an extra super buff, in round 1, just a lot of damage, right? He's also useful. I put this team here to kind of demonstrate that. Well, first he and his brother can help out hit and miss people with a lot of dodges. Ronin Zabuza, for example. I used the team with Kasame instead, but in that team actually was able to kill some 6-pass Naruto people. But yeah, he's good for hit and miss and Akatsuki, and he's extra good with hit and miss. And so if there's another version of Kasame that's extra useful, I would probably put him in here too. But right now in 3 versus 3, Great Ninja War or something, I definitely would put him there. This is a really good support, chase dodge, reducing defense. There's no ability here that is wasted. Right, he can interrupt people too, so it's kind of like Edo Itachi, but mystery cooldown, or Halloween Kimimaro, but slightly less. Yeah, he's just a overall really good versatile support. All right, Wedding Hinata. So I had a chance to use her earlier. She's kind of like Earth main for 2 rounds, and then she also gives somebody an extra standard attack, which can be useful. Sometimes it's not that useful. Sometimes it's really useful, so it's iffy. But her endurance ability is pretty good. Giving everybody super armor, pretty nice. For 2 rounds, too. Of course, you can suppress super armor, but giving everyone super armor against standard attacks is usually pretty good. Stopping some combos that might come. Let's see. She has some defense against standard attacks, counter attacks. And then her knockdown mystery is unavoidable, which is pretty good. So interrupts and increases mystery chakra cold costs by 20, and it's stackable until the end of the round. So if you're faster or something, then I don't know if it lasts if you manage to use the chase after your opponent uses their standard attack. I'm gonna have to test that out, but increasing chakra cost by 40 is pretty decent. Okay, Edo Hashirama. He's more of a support. You can put him in position 1, but with his breakthroughs, he's able to lower Senjutsu users' mystery cooldowns by 1. Minato's a good example. Asura, Indra. Who else is there? Tendo's Obito is one too. I should probably put that in here too. But yeah, Tendo's Obito I don't think has a mystery cooldown ability, or if he does, you can replace it with Edo Hashirama. And he also has immunity suppression 30 combo chase, which is pretty decent. But yeah, those are the main 2 reasons. He can also break the barrier too with his mystery, so fairly decent. And then yeah, he has a healing ability. He's pretty versatile. He has L, Y, and +2 abilities. Okay, third. Okay, Hokage Hiruzen. So Hiruzen's not so hype on the field, but once upon a time, people were using him in space time. 6-pass Naruto kind of stood out on its own. Everyone else pretty much just died. So you could use 6-pass Naruto and have Hiruzen die, and then you use 6-pass Naruto, deal a whole bunch of damage, and then you use Hiruzen to deal off the rest of the damage. Even without stacking, he deals a whole lot of damage. Like 70% of some guy's damage, if need be. Depending on how strong your opponent is. If they're on equal power with you, then probably 70%-ish. Yeah, and Iruka, I just, kind of put it in here to buff up 6-pass Naruto while Hiruzen takes out that one shot. Rin is pretty useful just to block mysteries. Good in 3 versus 3, arena and otherwise. She's used in a lot of free to play. just blocking the mystery attack is a pretty big deal, right? A lot of mystery, like Edo Madara's mystery attack deals a lot of damage, but the Rin will stop the splash damage. Success Naruto as well. You know, anything that causes a lot of damage with this mystery, she cuts it down to 10% for at least once. Now your opponent can get around it, but you know, just having that ability here gives you some leeway. You can wait. You can be faster, but then you can wait for your ability to attack, your opponent to attack and deal little damage, and then you can make your move and control the game. So it is what it is. I put this here just, you know, status reflect, water main, healing, because she heals and has a pretty decent healing boost. And then I put Edo Tobirama because the knockdown works with Kimono Kurenai, and the combo works with Rin and him too. But yeah, not that good of a team because Tobirama is not that good, but it's just kind of an example. Edo Sasori is nice, but like I've tried him with Edo Madara, it doesn't seem to be that good. You can give him extra standard attack, isn't that good. You can give him extra mystery boost attack with Edo Nagato, but that gives your opponent some extra attacks if they're using 6-fast Naruto. You also have to use it on the same round that you're using your mystery at. So you're using 20 chakra, and you have to use more chakra to use your mystery. So no, it's on and off. Like I would probably use him more in more of a 3 versus 3 setting blitz where you have Edo Hiruzen or Kimamaru. Like Kimamaru is great, 60%, right? Edo Sasori add on 50%, and then we'll add on Edo Hiruzen another 40%, 160%. Great. Or you can put that as position 1 and, you know, buff up the teams around you who gets Granger, Madara, Kimono, Itachi, like a whole bunch of buffs, and Edo Sasori gives his own buffs. That'll work too. He's great in 3 versus 3, right? He also has a reviving scaling that stacks, and another one that doesn't, but he gets more at the beginning. So it's on and off, right? Use him with Edo Tensei units that are good, but Edo Madara I couldn't find a team that really worked with Edo Madara because it was just too hard to use him and Edo Madara, because then your opponent gets to get the initiative to drain your chakra or control or something. So it's hard to say. Susanoo Shisui, I'm starting to see a little bit more use here. You can actually use against something like Ten Tails Obito, for example. But yeah, he can scale. If you're able to ignite Obito and use Susanoo Shisui, I think you could win. You can also win against. He has super armor suppression, I think, right? Yeah. Goes against Edo Madara unless Edo Madara uses level 2 super armor. But yeah, he can go against Edo Madara, who he can use this against pretty much anything. He's just weak to other metas because he can't heal. But if you change that, then you know that might change. I put him with Ronin Zabuza. I don't know about the last ninja. I just put Mabui just because. But Ronin Zabuza could stop someone's standard attacks, and Susanoo Shisui can stop their mystery attacks. And basically, they're sitting ducks for 2 rounds, right? I just thought that was a good combination that you guys can try. I don't have Susanoo Shisui yet, but I think that could work. You just have to find that 4th ninja besides these 2 guys. But yeah, stopping someone's mystery cooldown from going down is a pretty big deal. He does scale. He's 2 status reflects. He does have super armor, and he reduces people's critical hits when they hit him. So you know, it's kind of like Madara. Founder Madara. Maybe I should put Founder Madara a little bit lower for this one as support. That's kind of hard to say. Greninja Madara is up there. Maybe I should put him a little higher, but Greninja Madara, you have a choice of chasing, so it means you chase super armor when they have shields, giving them attack and ninjutsu increase, and then or draining chakra with the mystery, which is not that much. But he also creates shields for everybody on the team, so it's pretty decent. Repulse, never misses. But shields is not enough often as defense. You have to combine him with other defensive ninjas. But yeah, he's pretty fair as a support now, not as position 1. I suppose you could use him as a position 1, but it's not that good anymore. He has some chase. He has some dodges. Just some dodges. You know, a chance to have his chase not miss. But you have to have someone who causes knockdown without a knockdown chase and is fast enough, and has some requirements. This is just a team I used back then that was really powerful. Kimono Kurenai, status reflect for everybody. Knockdown, repulse, chaos chase twice. Has a chance of causing chaos with the standard attack, and then she has a see, increase 8% ninjutsu resistance, which is it's okay. The mystery protects somebody for 1 round for like pretty much any attack, so it's decent. Kind of like having that kid Hashirama around. Junichi Kimimaro is just good for the hidden jutsu buff and so on and so forth. All right, and then yeah, Junichi Kimimaro 100% defensive resistance and critical rate for hidden jutsu units. Tendo's Obito is one, so you might want to think of it. Edo Hashirama is one. These are all ninjas I don't think most people think of that are secret jutsu, but you guys can also use something like this, and he can decrease someone's mystery cooldown by 1, which is decent. Okay, Howlin' Kimimaro, perfect for 3 versus 3 blitz. A double-edged sword, but you could use it in Green Ninja War or one of your teams, I guess, if you're using your... If you're in round 1 using your mystery late, I guess you can use Kimimaro, right? He's not immune to status. People can still hit him. Six Class Naruto is undodgeable, so I wish it wasn't, but Kimimaro can't block those attacks. He has scaling of defensive resistance, but it's not enough most of the time. The other abilities are not that great, but he does increase attack on Edo Tensei units, so Minato would be great for this. On and off, right? He's great, but just, missing some of his abilities are not that great. Like the chase doesn't really do much. Okay, the current Summer Kurenai is great for lowering the chakra limit, but that's not so important in this current day meta. Though she can cause sleep to like up to 3 people, which is pretty nice. Knockdown Repulse Chaos Chase, nice. Status Reflect, nice. And then a 45% chance to cause chaos if you hit her, which is okay. A lot of status immune people or people with status reflects do, but that can catch some people off guard, right? Still decent. You throw him with Rinnegan Sasuke, Tendo's Monitor to remove all the immunity to debuffs that people have, and maybe you can chaos them when they attack you, when they attack your team. New Hashirama could be above Summer Kurenai on and off. Gives somebody an extra chase, but it's a random person, which is decent. He has a pretty decent combo with the standard attack. He hits 2 people, suppresses immunity to status. 1 is random, 1 is picked. It causes him immobilized, but it doesn't work on the position 1 unless you're in arena. In arena, he's really good, so he's on the list for sure. He also has Taka Karen's like 2% health back, which is decent. And then you have Edo Hiruzen, Blitz, just Blitz, damage, buff. Not much else to say. Yeah. Ronin Zabuza. He can stop someone's standard attack, and if you combine that with some other skills, like when I said Susa Shisui, it's pretty strong. This team actually defeated some of the 6 Pass Naruto teams that were out there. So, special teams, right? You need to know how to use them. He's hit and miss, so he can have some dodges with like Mangetsu or whatever. Reducing defense, pretty nice. Bloodthirsty, good if he's position 1. A missed ability, good against people who only attack 1 unit, which is some people, not everyone. And then you have Kimono Shisui. Kimono Shisui, I wish he was stronger, but he's a pretty decent position 1. He could be pretty useful in 5 natures. I use him with Edo Minato during 5 natures, or maybe I can use him in Ninja Exam, just like a double interrupt. Be kind of nice. I think he's usable. Just 6 Pass Naruto kind of kills him, and it's kind of hard. He's able to defeat Kakuzu and Kushina, one of the older metas. That's why I put him above those guys. But he can't defeat Edo Madara because his standard attack is pure ninjutsu. He can't fight Tento's Obito because he's also immune to pure ninjutsu. So against the top metas, he's just not there. But he's still strong against everything else. He can suppress super armor. His scaling is decent. He doesn't have the healing though. He has like a dodge or like status reflect kind of Nagato, but he's sort of lacking in those areas. But then he's like mid-high range strong. He can still defeat any other meta though, any other position 1 meta. Okay, Earth Grudge Kakuzu. As a position 1, he's fair. He has a potential 100% attack in ninjutsu. He has a potential 250% defense, but then he is not immune to status, so he can get controlled. He has super armor, but that's easily taken over. His pure ninjutsu attacks are a lot of people who are immune to those attacks now, or block 50% like out of Itachi. He has super armor, he's suppressed. So you can be a revival type without the buffs, which, he can use it with Akatsuki members, which surprisingly Obito has. So you can actually use it with Obito, right? Obito chases himself, so it's kind of nice to use that. He also calls a repulse, which Obito chases. So that's a lot of Obito chases that you guys can use. Figured you guys might want to use this. And then you can increase the number of chases with, what's his name again? Asura. Yeah, it's fairly decent, but it's like, people always use Akatsuki Christian Kakuzu and forget about him. But I guess he can be useful once in a while. Alright, Kushina's next. You can use her as position 1, but she loses against current metas now. You can use her as a defense, resistance sort of type. But that's... I guess you can suppress immunity status if you want to, somehow do an area attack, which... like Edo Madara has... what do you call it? It's the attack where you stop them from attacking. Fright. There we go. You can use Kushina to remove immunity to status, and use Edo Madara to fright everyone else. That's decent. Some special things like that. She heals a whole bunch. She can scale critical rate or ninjutsu, which critical rate is still sort of defensive. Defensive resistance is defensive, and that's pretty good, right? And Nakazu Kagegara is my last on the list. He's just good for wind mains. He can change the barrier, which is good when you're using against Edo Madara or something. He can heal himself, increases... So he's healed 5% of his max health when he's attacked, which is above the 2% of Takakaren or something like that. Actually, it's above pretty much anything else. Maybe except for Tentail Obito. Yeah. And he has a cooldown reduced by 1 when he's hit, so you can keep, changing the barrier every single round. He has a chance to immobilize with his attacks and chases, which is okay. But I just kind of like that he has super armor and he heals and he can change the barrier. Just a little bit of support that you can use. People will use that in space time sometimes when they know the other side's going to use a barrier ninja like Edo Minato, right? And that is the end of the top 40 on my list. Question marks are on Zetsu and Rage Obito. I don't know where to put them, and I need people's helps. People to help me out with Rage Obito and Zetsu. Yeah, I just don't know how to deal with Rage Obito especially, right? New ninja out there. If I miss something, make sure to comment. You guys can go into the document here and comment. The link will allow you to comment. If it doesn't allow you to do that, then you can tell me, comment in the YouTube video, and let me know. Whew, these are my top 40 at the moment. I might be missing some. But yeah, this is... made this list, and it's a lot of teams that I make here. Let's see if we do. How big is the 10 top 40 ninja file? I don't know, Kaiser. I'll let you know later. Yeah. Alright, guys. These are my top 40. You guys can move them around if you want with comments. And I'll arrange them after reading a whole bunch of your comments and suggestions and all that stuff. Alright? Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to do this again in 6 months and in the beginning of 2022. Alright, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Check out the Coffin Ingot channel. And comment. See you guys in the next one.